everybody to OG versus Tundra here, the ESL One Birmingham Suns fan here with Cinder Meister. Greetings.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, everybody, and welcome.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm warmed up. I've just been, I've been paneling two good games that we just saw OG absolutely crush Extreme, I think is fair to say, especially in the second game. So curious to see if they can keep that momentum going after their first serious performance of the day. Tundra, no strangers to winning, though. They took a 2-0 against Gaming Gladiators. So some of the big names off to a bad start in this tournament so far. Curious to see who's going to draw the longer straw in this one. I feel like the lineups are very different in style, as the panel talked about with pacing and with matchups. Zeus is gaining a lot of popularity, and you're running that together with Elder Titan for a massive magic damage burst combo against Morph. I think that is going to be the name of the game, and Sven will be farming a lot.
Yep, as always, Seb, you might get first blooded here. Finally, we'll go down to Mr. Who was that? Was that a split?
That was the fastest tip I've seen.
That was a split of first blood.
Oh, it was Seb we killed. Tip him.
I mean, these players have very fast reactions when it comes to tipping, Cinderin, as you know.
All right, there's one. Pure's a little bit slower today, but it's okay. He also tipped the wrong player. So, bit of a mistake. Well, D-Ward coming out from Thompson will give him a nice head start in the mid lane, almost level 1. Almost half a level ahead of the puck from this, just getting the first blood experience plus D-Ward.
That's a good start, but most importantly, do you know the name of that character that is spray painted on?
Yes.
What is it?
It is Curse Bird.
No, it's Skriok.
I know it's Skriok, but it's boring to give you the correct answer.
That's the coolest name in Dota now.
Okay.
Lots of Smurfs are naming themselves that, I hear.
Okay.
Very important to note that beforehand here.
Right.
As Ari getting chased off by Whitemon right now. And yeah, both teams 2-0, as you said, in this early group stage. But it's only a couple-day group stage, Cinderin, so each game is going to be very important as opposed to some of the group stages that we've had in the past where it feels like it's been long and drawn out. It's not the case here for Birmingham.
Yeah, so you're playing 10 total games, right? Oh, hang on. Pure.
In a lot of trouble, but Ari's going to go down first. And it looks like they will get the eventual trade, so Pure does fall. As Whisper also pretty low. Whitemon doing quite a bit of damage, but now just going to walk away, get some last hits in the meantime.
So yeah, you're playing a total of 10 games, right? If either team in this one 2-0s and you have 4 wins, that is kind of close to secure top 4, right? Which is where you don't get knocked out of the tournament. So on day 1, you can essentially secure yourselves getting through stage number 1, which is quite crazy.
Up, skewer from Whisper. Yep, he's trying to get away. Echo Stomp, not going to clip, will actually cancel from Whitemon. And it looks like Whisper will be able to get out just fine unless Whitemon finds him in the tree line. He will. One right click, make it 2. One more will do the job, and indeed, Whitemon finishes off Whisper in style.
A nice early advantage here coming the way of Tundra. First blood, they're crushing mid. Thompson with a big lead against BZM, 15-3 against 7-0. Getting all of that advantage out of the first blood experience.
Arc lightning.
Just relentless here.
No vision to finish the job, but yeah, BZM taking a beating, like you said. I mean, that first blood really does pay dividends here in the mid lane. That is something that has not really changed in Dota's history. The question is, what kind of support can OG find to help out BZM? I mean, you have the Enchantress.
Yeah.
But it's a little early, it feels like.
It feels difficult to find a kill on Zeus with an End rotation without level 6 on Puck, right? Like, you kind of need that coil to lock people in. Skewer from Whisper, not bad onto Pure. The Whitemon is quite strong to turn around here. And that will be the end of that exchange, so... They're trading punches, but the big winner in the lane probably is still Sven, just sitting on a comfortable CS lead against Magnus. And in comparison to OG's earlier games that we saw today, this is not the laning stage that we saw against Extreme. That generally was going very well for them. Just this time around, both mid and the enemy safe lane are having a quite good time overall.
Yeah, Pure kind of taking a beating here. Has to reposition constantly, missing a few last hits as a result. So Whisper definitely... I mean, he did fall, but it feels like OG are controlling this lane a good amount. As Whisper will finally get nice right click, a rebound into the potential dispose back into the fray, but the Stormhammer comes through as Pure will just barely get out in time.
Whitemon strong here.
Yeah, he's got a lot of damage go through. His Whisper comes in with this skewer,
Clutch.
finishes off Pure. And now Whitemon trying to get some residual damage, will get the trade again, but still, your position one Sven dying twice in the laning stage.
It's such a heads-up play there from Whisper to go for that turnaround Shockwave Skewer kill onto Sven. It's really well done. Like you said, he does trade, but I think he should be feeling pretty happy about that. He was already going to be forced to skewer defensively against the ET and then have no resources, so I think getting that trade is much better. Toby in trouble bottom, taken out by, okay, a couple of misses.
A lot of evasion coming through. Toby, he's still evading. He finally will die. My goodness.
They were really trying to give the kill to Tomato.
Burning 2-9 class. Looks like it'll be a trade, but comes at a heavy cost.
I think they missed 2 or 3 Morphling attacks in a row.
Yeah,
and Seb really wanted to give him the kill. Nice skewer here from Whisper will probably lead to the demise of White.
Oh,
okay, maybe not. Good stomp. He'll get out.
Pretty fast now. Looks like he'll get out of dodge just fine. He'll take a blood grenade on his way out.
And worth keeping an eye on here is the way these lanes are going. Both teams are playing exceptionally aggressively on their side lanes. Zeus is the perfect wild card to have for this kind of scenario. Thompson is going to hit level 6 in half a wave. If he can get himself either, I guess there's no bounty rune to refill the bottle, so unless somebody TPs in and gives him a refill, it'll be a little bit before he has the resources necessary to offer that coverage in the sides, but I definitely think that they're going to use the Thunder God's Wrath to find a kill, especially in the Sven lane, and stabilize that a little bit, and hopefully buy a bit of space for Whitemon to go and stack. Obviously very important when you're playing with Sven to try to stack both your triangle as well as a camp in the easier accessible top area of the jungle. Skewer again. Whisper really not letting Pure farm.
That is really annoying. Rebound will connect. So more than just damage now. Potential kill as a TP comes in though.
Zeus will kill here.
Yep, Ari getting chased by the Astral Spirit.
He's dead anyway.
One more right click will suffice. Yeah, no mana for the Thunder Gods it seems, but they'll get the kill nonetheless. As Seb trying to prevent this invis, but he'll have to grab it for himself. There's 9 class. Level 4 right now on that Bat Rider. Any surprise picks now that we can talk a little bit since there's been so much action so far? Anything that you're not agreeing with in the draft?
I think the most surprising thing to me was the time that Morph was picked in the draft. Aside from that, most of this stuff was pretty standard for both teams, but they didn't have the most information to pick the Morphling with. And despite that, it's still looking like a pretty solid Morphling game. So arguably, both big surprises revolving around that hero. The order of the pick and the relative lack of countering from Tundra. I definitely do think they have some solutions, but not the most that you could have expected. 7 minutes time coming up. Gonna be having a look at the Wisdom Runes.
Another rebound disposed back into the tier 1. We see TP's coming in. Seb making his way over as well as the coil connects. Pure will be Shockwave back into the right clicks of BZM, and down goes Whitemon as well. So a nice little engagement here for OG, and a 3rd death for the Sven. Pure getting dominated so far in this game.
He does have some nice comeback stacks in the Ancient Camp as well as the big camp for later once he reaches level 6 and especially 7 or 8 and has 1 item that would make it a lot easier. But yeah, slowing down Sven is very, very good news for OG. Morphling starting to build a pretty significant advantage, and they'll try to put him to the test here. You can see if to find a way out of this one. Probably not happening. 4
members against Tomato. You would think that this will be a kill going their way eventually, and it does.
Never even waveformed.
2 Thompson. Yeah, why bother?
Yeah. I guess so.
You die, you come back faster that way, Cinder. You can TP back and get that XP.
I guess so. I mean, yeah, if you're sure you're going to die, might as well die quickly. Then he shouldn't have used his attribute shift either, though.
That's right.
Or, well, he should. He should have used the Agi one.
Yeah, full Agi for the win. Then you have to worry.
Gank, guys.
Yeah, full Agi, but then you have to worry about Thunder God's Wrath when you respawn. You know?
Right. So you have to find the balance. You need to have like 400 health.
Yeah, very important. Pure now getting chased off, just trying to find any farm as Whisper will find the RP. Do they have the damage to follow this up with, though? TP coming in. Ari is there. It's a 3 versus 2 now that Toby's made his way over. The Thunder God's Wrath goes off as well. Not going to be enough to finish anybody off initially as Whisper getting really low on HP and mana. Looks like he's going to get surrounded by this primal split. They throw Seb up into the air. Oh, the Pure is on the cliff, and he doesn't have a TP for a few seconds. Whisper will eventually get finished off, but Pure, okay, he gets pushed to the ground. That's a handy one. And finally, he's able to live through an engagement here.
And ironically, he gets pushed off the cliff by the what's that called again? The Void Panda. And then he TP's bottom anyway instantly, so it didn't even matter.
Yeah.
But yeah, what a weird sequence there. OG with an exceptionally deep dive. It feels like they go into this game with the mindset of, okay, let's just ruin Sven as much as we possibly can. Like, they have put so many resources into slowing down Pure. And, well, with this Ancient stack, he will recover a bit, but it is definitely one of the worst starts we've seen from Sven's in a long time. He's still, despite finding this double farm, or I think it was a triple Ancients and Big Camp, he is still behind Morph by 400 minute 10. So,
yeah,
job
this is
well
a
done
hero
for
that
OG.
needs to be ahead pretty much the whole game.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, with the built-in cleave, basically just balanced that way. As this tier 1 tower taking a lot of damage now, and will be taken out in OG's favor.
Time for the 10-minute power rune will be bottom. And we'll be going the way of BZM. So we'll be picking up this haste. Have to wait and see if they try to put this to use for maybe a smoke move into Sven's jungle again. Wouldn't put it past them. They've showed their hands so far.
Yep, Seb sacrificing himself to the gods just to avoid any further casualties on the side of OG. We'll take a tumble. Your thoughts on Enchantress, by the way, because as of, what was it? Every tournament, I didn't really watch much of the last term, I'll be honest, but the 2 tournaments before that, Enchantress's win rate was atrocious, yet was picked constantly. She
was doing so well in the first 15 minutes of basically every game, and then something went wrong and she fell off.
Yeah.
Basically every time. Well, Seb put on a masterclass last game. I think this time around, the conditions are a lot worse already. And this is where I think part of the reason, if you think about Enchantress's win rate in that phase that we're talking about, is that in all of the games that it goes exceptionally well, you have a good shot, and all of the games that it goes wrong, you're just feeling awful, right? So it's kind of high risk in the sense that if the early rotations don't go according to plan, Plan B for Enchantress is honestly pretty bad a lot of the time at this level. So I'm already a little bit worried looking at this from OG's perspective with how do you get your supports online. Look at the discrepancy in net worth right now. Ench sitting at 2K, so is the Marcy. Batrider almost has the same net worth as both of them combined minute 11, sitting at 3.2K there on 9 class. So this is going to start becoming a problem. If Ench doesn't find farm, she's just a ward, right? Walking in, has a creep. She's managed to take the top tier 1, which is good, but it's not... It doesn't cut it. Got to find more than this.
Yeah, it does feel like, I mean, I've seen this work out from time to time, but the Marcy Ench combo, both are kind of greedy. You're having 2 greedy supports in a way because they both scale. They both want items. They both do a lot of damage if left unattended.
And at the same time, neither of them have very good wave clear, right? So they kind of want to scale, but they don't have inherently great ways of finding farm. So a lot of the time it comes through early pressure and kills. Nice job from OG getting the mid tier 1. That'll help progress them, but still as it stands, both of their supports level 5. As you look over the side of Tundra, 9 class level 7.5 on Bat. So it's definitely some work to be done yet here for OG. I'm going to get started onto Toby. We'll drop the coil.
Yeah. Do they have the damage to rip through before the Primal Split comes off? Dispose, but the Primal Split finally comes through. And at the very least, they forced that out, but not able to find the kill onto the... Oh, we're going to see the RP in the bot lane, but immediate lasso to try to cancel this out.
Oh, nice.
As the ET ult comes through as well. Skewer back into the tier 1. Pure, he gets ripped apart. In the end, again, the Sven dies. As Ari's going to take some burst damage from Thompson. Looks like that's going to be a freebie for them. So 1 for 1 to start. The tier 1 is pretty low, and they'll likely go back for it. Not sure if they're going to find anything more. Although Seb, Echo Stomp does hit. Thunderbolt to follow. Flame Break. And they should have the chase. Might take some time, but eventually Bambi dies. So 2 for 1. Still 2 supports for the Sven.
Yeah, that's the big thing here is Pure dies once more. And I think the way he's playing the map right now, I think is very uncharacteristic for a lot of general Sven play that we see at this level. The fact that he's down there forcing into this tower at this point instead of just farming triangle, building stacks, and playing safer. He's really trying to put pressure on the map. And I think in this instance, didn't really turn out to be worth it. But he's straight back down there. He doesn't give a crap. This tower apparently really needs to be opened right now. OG will do anything in their power to try to defend it. Seb TPing in with a heal on.
Yeah, Pure wants to go on for some more. Yeah, Seb, that's the true sacrifice right there.
All right, he did not defend the tower. He just gave them an extra little snack there on their way out.
That's right. I've had reindeer before. It's delicious.
Yep, turned into roadkill there to the Sven bus.
Well, I don't think I'd eat roadkill. That's the thing. That's a little different.
Pure has different taste. I guess it's different if you are the bus.
Oh, okay.
You know?
Sure. That's a very good analogy.
Let's see who gets this Wisdom Rune. If they're going to give it to Pure here, it looks like it is the case. Level 12 imminent, and Echo Saber almost complete. And going to be a good timing here for them to build 2 more stacks for him. So still...
Oh, nice skewer, and Echo Stomp's not going to go off. Whitemon finished. Ari will take that for himself. And yeah, Tomato right now, top net worth in the game on the Morphling. You can see Pure on this Sven, just desperately trying to catch up in this triangle area. The fact that he's only 1,000 behind is actually shocking to me. I know that he's had some stacks, but it's a lot of deaths.
Yeah. It's a quite uncharacteristic just gold distribution in general, right? You have top net worth, he just got overtaken by the Morph, but you had Tops in 1, then you had Sven in 5th, and then the next 3 were clearly on the side of Tundra. So, all right,
Lasso will find BZM. Echo Stomp to follow. The ET ult, but the phase shift is there. BZM getting some extra move speed thanks to the rebound. Looks like he's fine. Not sure if Tundra... I'd have to look at the replay of that one to see if they could have potentially gotten that kill. That was really close.
I think they more or less cast their spells perfectly, actually. I think that was a really good sequence. They just got the stomp off the lasso. Hang on, Toby.
Obscure initiation, Waning Rift onto the Brew. Looks like they will kill him off before the split comes out. There's Tomato. It's going to waveform back out as the Tier 1 tower will be defended for the time being, as a Blink Dagger now online for BZM. How close are we to this? It looks like the Brew, Mr. Toby, went for the Spirit Vessel first before the Radiance, so still quite a ways away.
Pretty standard pickup against Morphling, and you could argue it's secondary okay against Ench, but yeah. This hero likes getting that item anyway, so if you're giving him a reason through draft to buy it, it's a lot more obvious for him to elect to pick that up. And now that Tomato went for the Lincolns first, there is a decent timing window where this vessel is actually going to be very powerful. The Manta is quite far away, so could try to put this to use with perhaps a smoke rotation. Brewmaster isn't exactly the best hero at ganking Morphling, but they could catch him in some way and then chain that vessel. That could seal the deal with some nice Zeus burst. Interesting. Thompson actually farming the Ancients here on Zeus, not leaving them for Sven.
Yeah, well, he's been dying. Why would you? You got your shard.
Pure shit. This is mine now.
Of course.
I am the carry.
Yeah, you learned that in pubs as a young boy.
Yep.
And you carried on to your professional career. And it helps you win TI Cinderin.
Apparently.
Maybe 2 in Thompson's case.
Yep.
BZM looking for his shard next. Looks like has his Blink Dagger and the Witch Blade. Might be getting ganked though. Illusory Orb comes out. Waning Rift, but
that's awkward.
Stormbolt is there, and Pure actually finds the kill.
Yeah.
So able to bait out those spells. Very nicely done from Tundra. Ari, that is a long rebound, but eventually killed off as well.
In the meantime, Toby has become a Vista. He will now TP top. He was cliffed by the Magnus down bottom. 2 quick picks here coming the way of Tundra, and this will also give them a Tier 1 tower. Pure continuing to really look toward building damage on his Sven. We'll be cleaning this one up. Very, very even game with a lot of... I think both teams are doing a really good job at finding the opportunities that their lineups can. Sven will now fully be caught up to Morphling, which is quite important. Reckon he will overtake. He will now. All right. Eyes on Whitemon.
Yeah, I mean, that just shows how fast Sven can
reach.
farm, I guess, as Whitemon on the run. But we have more initiation down here. Thompson trying to TP out. He will be able to survive. My goodness. Close call. So the Batrider only casualty so far in this fight, and the Warcry will secure the exit for Whitemon. But the Tier 1 tower not able to be defended by Tundra, so that will be OG's to claim.
Bit of a power play coming up here from Tundra probably, because they killed this Batrider, but they used RP and Coil. So I think the OG lineup officially on a little bit of a rest right now. And Tundra, if they find any opportunity with Split, with Lasso, with Zeus ult, I don't think they can lose this upcoming fight in any way, really. It's a matter of OGs just try to play keep away and see what Tundra's plans are. Obviously not the best lineup for killing Roche in a moment like this. A lot of the time, that's how you would punish what OG just did. And we'll try to find a way to access BZM here.
And
nice
phase
shift.
shift. Blink. Gets decent safety, but Pure is in the tree line with the Stormhammer again. So another quick death for BZM. That's really going to cost them. It's going to be a Tier 1 tower top.
And the Tormentor probably.
And Tormy about to spawn 8 seconds away. Yeah, that'll be quite nice for Tundra.
So this is obviously it's the same logic, right? The enemy team has long cooldowns, they're unavailable, you made your strong move with a smoke, you get the biggest objective that you can, which will be the Tormentor here, not Roche.
Unfortunate shard, of course.
Yeah, not the one they were hoping for. Well, I guess. Would you rather have ET or Bat?
That's true.
What do you want to choose for your garbage support shard in this game?
I would actually say maybe ET's better.
Probably. These are two of the worst support shards in the game right now. I think the shards have value on core primarily.
Oh, this is cool.
Oh, boy.
Nari. Okay, that's getting quite
boy.
low. Echo Stomp is there. And that is going to be the death of Whisper at the very least. And likely to be another as Ari takes the tumble and they end up getting their own Tormentor anyway.
And this one went to Brew, not Bat.
Yeah, that's a good dodge from the likes of Tundra.
So this is a pretty solid shard. Definitely way better than getting it on either support. As mentioned, both Batrider and ET, it's kind of a core item. But the way you itemize these heroes as supports, it feels like it almost never really comes into play. But the Brewmaster one obviously going to be good all game. But yeah, this was a very high-risk play, and what a great stomp here. Getting both those heroes slept. The fight is over before it even started. OG also killed themselves to half for them, so it made it very easy.
I mean, I like the thought, though, but just not fast enough on the Tormentor. And I mean, that's the beauty of Elder Titan. This is why this hero, despite being out of the meta for a long time, just comes back in these big tournaments. You have the Roshan Pit, now you have the Tormentor. If there's any of these big AoE areas, the Astral Spirit is absurd for vision, for AoE control. As Toby gonna find Seb. You can see Whisper in the tree line. But Pure's gonna come in and...
this could be a setup.
Yeah, RP is gonna hit onto 2. Do they have the follow-up, though? ET ult goes off, not doing too much here. Now Tomato left basically to his own devices, but Pure is separated on the other side. We'll pop his newly picked up BKB as Whitemon is finished off by Tomato. BZM accoring Roche for some reason, who bashes him. That's what he deserves. And the chase is on. And the Stormbolt goes off. In the tree line is Pure, trying to do some damage before his inevitable death, but will not be able to find anyone. Instead, it's a triple kill for Tomato. And now they're next to the Roche Pit. They will take this one for free.
Tundra find no kills. It's a nice RP to start. The Stomp was really good, but I think it got instantly broken somehow on the Magnus. I don't know if they miscommunicated there and broke it with the Thunder God's Wrath or something, but that Stomp immediately canceled and allows OG to continue with the kill. And Pure in that situation got a nice stun on Ari into blink away. He had the choice of killing Ari, but tried to survive, did not manage, and OG strike back in a big way. That's the entire lead of Tundra gone. It's the Roche the other way. And Morphling now comfortably again in the top spot. Seb with the completed pipe, obviously doing a lot of work in these situations. And I don't know if this is good enough for Tundra anymore. Like this 5K lead was quite comfortable. Being even at this point in time is a little bit worrisome with what we've seen Morphlings be able to do against these types of lineups. If the Sven was looking good, my opinion would probably be quite different. But Pure not having the time of his life, to be blunt about it.
Yeah, 3, 5, and 5. I mean, we keep harping on it. The fact that he's still top number on his team is mind-blowing to me.
Yeah, well, it's Sven. I feel like that's...
Even so, I mean, 5 deaths. That's a lot. And finally, the Radiance comes in for Toby, so that's going to help out quite a bit.
Yeah, it's a big item. Tundra, you could argue they haven't really tried to wait for it. They've just been looking for opportunities whenever they arose, not really focusing so much on item timings, more so about cooldowns on spells from the enemy team.
Oh, Pure. He's
he
found
found
out in the tree line. Skewer will cancel the TP.
Oh, boy.
All he can do is War Cry. And now it's just getting chased. Pops his BKB, but more reinforcements are here for OG. Actually gets the blink off.
He's going to live.
Might just be fine then. It's a Waning Rift there from BZM. Gets off the coil. Whitemon is here with the Echo Stomp. Will be dodged by BZM, so Pure will eventually find his 6th death of the game. The rest of Tundra, a little bit too late to the party, of course. Pure was on the other side of the map, so...
I no longer think he's going to live. Okay,
BZM wants to even the odds here, but gets the phase shift off. There's the Whisper RP into the waveform. Skewer to follow. Thompson still pretty damn healthy as the Primal Split's already off. Trying to cleave it down is Whisper. Meanwhile, the dispose onto Whitemon in the tree line. He's going to be the sacrifice for Tundra. So far, 2 for nothing. Toby, is that his last Panda up and running?
He has one more.
So they get the Earth Panda, but the last one survives. So Toby will be able to get out. Still Aegis intact as BZM really ballsy play and ends up paying off there for OG.
Yeah, there seems to be there was some clear communication there that he was just trying to bait and give vision for Mag to find an RP, and it worked out beautifully. Very well done. Tomato will be dissuaded from pushing this tower as the safety of the Aegis, so will never be a kill there. However,
Lasso.
Whisper might.
Yeah, has Pure nice flame break to cancel that out. Rebound is there onto Ari, trying to find somebody, but looks like it's Whisper who's taken up by Pure. Pops that God Strength. Getting control, though, as BZM showing himself. Will be a very evasive target for him to go on, though, as Thompson getting right-clicked by Tomato. Echo Stomp a little bit too late. And now, oh, the nice cleave from Pure. He's continuing on as Seb. He's untouchable with that ult. So Pure will have to back away, and BZM and company will now just focus down the Brewmaster. Not able to get to the low ground, so down goes Toby. 3 for 2. Still favor OG. Still Aegis intact. You can see the replay there, although we can see Pure actually getting gone on in live action. And he is dead again. Death number 7 for Pure.
We're reaching the point where Svens just don't win games with this amount of deaths. Like, what is going on? 7 deaths minute 25 on Sven. Yeah, OG, they just keep finding these moments of opportunity. I feel like one thing that they're doing a really good job at this game is finding vision at a relatively low cost. It's one of the strengths that Enchantress has as a hero when she has Pipe, that she's a pretty difficult kill. So a lot of the time, Seb will just run in front, give vision for his team. If the enemy team goes on him, you find a big RP or a good coil. You free up the Marcy to go in and get a good unleash off. And otherwise, the puck, right? Just blinking in, casting an orb and phase shifting to give information and just allow Whisper some really good conditions to play this Magnus under. So very, very well done by OG. And at this point, this is starting to look like a solid advantage. Numerically, not the biggest deal, 4,000 you could say, but just looking at the draft and especially the distribution of the gold, the Morphling way ahead of the curve now. And the fact that Marcy is poor, I actually don't think matters that much for this game. I think if Ari at some point gets a BKB, that's good enough. Like, it doesn't have to be 3-slotted or anything. Smoke up from Tundra. They'll try to make their own move now. Pure will push out mid. I feel like this is a quite telegraphed move when the Sven runs across the river and pushes this wave out, but maybe they can still catch them by surprise. OG with a good setup on the ward, though. And the first point of contact would be the Ench, which is kind of the dream for OG in this scenario. All their spells, and Seb is just really trying to find this smoke.
Looking for the high five.
And he will.
Sees one.
Yeah, this play's over. Yeah. Call it off.
He's spotted now.
And even gets the D ward. They're actually sticking around.
I mean, there's no Aegis any longer, so now they can try to kill off Tomato in one go. Manta's not going to be able to dodge the Storm Hammer. They pop the Lincolns. He's already at half HP. Spirit Vessel applied as well. The Spec continue on, but there's the RP from Whisper. Thunderbolt on top of Tomato along with the last one, but he's still surviving. Warcry turns in this Sven, but finally cleaved down. 2 cores dead for OG. Well, trying to counteract this now, but Seb is going to go down as well. So a triple kill for Toby on the Brewmaster.
How did he
so
get
despite having the vision, OG get crushed in this fight.
Yeah, this I didn't notice how exactly they broke the Lincolns on the Morphling, but that was a really solid setup of catching Tomato off guard. He felt a little bit too comfortable for what he actually was. They break the Lincolns, they find all of his burst damage, they get the lasso once he escapes. And I think this is the kind of situation where even if you don't kill Morph, you're still winning the fight because he had to use everything defensively. So if you would have forced him out and he would have lived, the teammates would have still had to come into cover and they would have died regardless. But they even get him. This is a wild game. Like, it feels very unpredictable what the next outcome is and who's going to find the better engagement. Both teams well aware of what was going on, and still Tundra.
Yeah, they're still in it.
Maybe OG felt surprised because they were like, they must have called this play off, right? We broke their smoke, we de-warded their ward, and then they just still went.
Like, how many times do we need to kill this Sven before he's irrelevant? Are we going to see a 10 death, a double-digit Sven death win, Cinder? Is that possible?
Not out of the question.
3 away.
I'm considering Bloodthorn on Pure here. I mean, it's obviously playing against both Morph and Puck. Definitely feels nice, but I think a lot of other players in this situation would opt for that Daedalus just to get that really quick kill on Morph.
Yeah, they have the damage rune out on Pure, so the smoke comes through, and we'll see what Tundra can get out of this. Another little engagement going in their favor would be huge, as Seb is going to be spotted, and that is going to be a quick death for him.
Yeah, Pipe isn't good there. Maybe 4 hearts.
Yeah, I think that might have done it.
And now we're back to Tundra equalizing the game. Funny graph, this one. The gold is gone for some swings, to say the least. A little bit of a...
Yeah, it's a Six Flags type of roller coaster, I think.
I'm pretty sure that is too many Gs on the way down there. I don't think that would pass regularity. Regulations.
I was going to say, is that a European way of saying regulation?
It's British.
Oh, of course.
Yes.
Sorry about that. Cheerio. 1K lead for Tundra. As we have a smoke now from OG. I mean, Whisper, I have to say, has played really well this game. His RPs have been on point. Toby's going to be spotted. Does have his split. He does, but this will be a tough one. Does get it off. Now they're going to RP on top of him, but that just means they're going to clean it up easily. Cancels it thanks to the shard, but it matters not. They have the damage, and then some.
I'm surprised he RP'd. I mean, maybe that's necessary, actually. Fair enough. Like, probably going to become a problem when he starts using all the different Brewlings and just running away the Storm one, but I think there was a world there where that Brewmaster dies without RP if they just have a Dust.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't have it for 90 seconds now, so forcing that out is pretty nice.
Yeah, there will. I guess if it results in a Roche, it feels even better, but I'm not sure they're going to get this one for free. Nice stomp. Well, I guess, never mind. I take it back.
Free. Yeah.
There's nobody able to connect to the gate in time.
Is this a Roshan's banner, Roche? My goodness, Seb
scouting out.
Scares away everyone.
It looked like Tundra kind of wanted to actually go contest that, but just not fast enough. 9 class was connecting to the top gate, and the other heroes just like 10 seconds too far away, so the RP ends up paying off big time. Because I was going to say, now that this RP is on cooldown and Brew is spawning, you've traded these ults off. I don't know which one is more important for the teams, but Tundra could have maybe thought about going for a play with this Bloodthorn reveal. But now that the Aegis advantage is on OG's side, maybe you just have to chill a little bit and try to get the fight on your side of the map.
Yeah.
Find an easier engagement. 9 class, BZM. Eyes on the phase shift there.
Shift and blink. He's fine. Has enough for his Ags right now as well. The coil onto Pure, pops the BKB in a retreat. Stormhammer is there onto Tomato, who turns into Sven, of course. Gets off a Stormhammer of his own. And now Pure in a lot of trouble. Adaptive Strike applied with that Conda. And you can see Whisper coming in.
8.
That is death number 8, so we're 2 away from the dream, and then Tundra has to win for this dream to become a reality. or a nightmare if you're an OG fan. But quite the back and forth game indeed. As 9 Class spotted out, Whisper. He's gonna get lassoed.
Is that going to be the new Milk Award? Is that the Pure Award? Dying 10 times on Sven and winning.
Yeah, it has to be Sven though, right?
Yeah, specifically Sven. Dying 10 times on a carry and winning does happen occasionally, but on Sven, that's got to be quite rare, I would imagine. Now, new item alert picked up here. Thompson finds the Ags, so Nimbus now available.
Okay.
Very powerful potential global burst, especially when Refresher comes out. I don't know if you saw the clip from the Elite League. I believe it was a sniper that got full-on killed by Zeus using 2 ults and 2 Nimbuses on an ET Spirit.
Yeah, that was good.
This is something that could end up becoming a problem eventually for OG if Zeus gets there. He can absolutely blast someone like a Morphling.
I mean, Elder Titan used to be the hard counter to Morphling. Back when Nature's Natural Order used to work on both the physical and the magical.
With just the spirit. Oh my god, it was so strong. It was a quite elegant change, actually, to split them into physical aura on you and magical aura on the spirit. But yeah, when it did both, it was the first pick in Pro Dota for quite a while back then. A lot of things were different back then.
Yeah, back in my day, there's no neutral items. Oh boy, what a dream come true.
That was a different time. All right, Ench. We'll get ourselves a little Sprank for free.
Yeah. Well, OG, that's their first Tormentor, we should mention. So finally able to get something in terms of the Tormies.
No, BKB picked up for 9 Class. Still keeping up a very good pace here on the Bat Rider. Will actually be overtaken by Ench, but it is a little bit inflated from that shard that Bat Rider didn't get, and Seb did. Okay,
spotted.
He's in trouble.
Yeah, that's an understatement. He will tank the gank again.
9 Class's usage of Flame Break has been stellar this game. He used it mid-Ogre Seal Totem there onto Seb.
Beautiful. Pure. He's going to get solo RP'd. Skewered back. Will this be death
Pure.
number 9? Potentially for him. Indeed it is. It'll cost Whisper his life. So 1 for 2 to start this fight out. Ari, that was a BKB charge. Now no more. Tomato focusing on the Brewlings. Toby with the Storm Panda alive, but turns back into the regular Brewmaster just in time. Tomato's going to get Echo Stomp now.
Oh,
that's a lot of damage coming out from Thompson. That is the Aegis down.
Holy moly.
9 Class ends up seeing that Ari's still in the tree line. ET ult, not going to connect on Tomato, but he's already at half HP. The Spirit Vessel on top of him as well. The rebound try to give him some extra move speed outside now. On the cliff, indeed. Has a waveform up in 1 second. Gets it off to the north, but 9 Class is there to greet him. And this will likely be the death of the Morphling. So 3 for 2 as Thompson continuing the pressure here. The BZM able to get out of dodge. All right, so that's 9 deaths, I believe, for keeping track here, Cinderin.
It feels like this tournament hasn't generated very many very close games so far, but this is definitely absolutely a banger. Neither team has had a meaningful advantage, I feel like, so far, 37 minutes. And most of the games at this point have been largely either decided or close to. This one could still go either way, just very much down to clutch spellcasting and who has the vision more so than anything, really. No, Thompson had a really good fight there, so that Refresher is closer than you might have thought, actually. Only 500 gold to go.
Okay.
Giving some vision for Pure here, and it's enough.
All right. So BZM taking a tumble this time. Pure feels
finally
like
a good moment for him.
He gets more enraged with each death, and that's a lot of deaths. We're going to see the lasso now onto Whisper. He's surrounded by illusions of tops. He's going to get the kill. RP is there with, okay, the help of Ari is in addition, and now Seb coming to play as well. Thompson has to try to get out of dodge with that Ogre Seal Totem. Looks like they do find the Magnus in the end, but Thompson will die. And now a little couple cleaves here from Pure. Ends up taking Seb out. And this is a 4 for 2. There's so much back and forth, and now Ari deleted. So if you count that Morphling death earlier, basically a full team wipe here.
The gem will be recovered by the courier, so Tundra now able to push out all the lanes, really. They have 50 seconds on 4 OG heroes, so they can get complete map control and think about their next objective. And this was the item I was waiting for. This is scary territory because any sort of stun connecting from the side of Tundra, Tomato can actually just die in a lasso to almost Zeus alone, right? Like, he has to start being really careful about knowing his limits because they've changed drastically now from 5 minutes ago. I want to say globally that Topson can probably output, what do we want to say, about 1,500 to 2K damage. And if you put that under the ET aura, that's basically Morph's entire pool. So very, very scary. Look at those damage numbers from the game so far as well, doubling up anyone else.
Yep, the Zeus special.
Classic Zeus, but of course will thrive under the circumstances where the teams are brawling a lot.
Could we take a look at the death counter again real quick just to make sure we're all accustomed to what the hell's going on in this game? Is the coil onto 9 class.
Big
That's
damage
the
on him.
BKB, yeah. Whisper following through. Not even going to need the help of the Magnus, as BZM will claim the bat. There's the death counter. We can see Seb, Ari, and Pure all tied at 9. Who will win in the death department this game? Find out soon.
Do you want to predict?
Well, I'm going to say it's not Pure.
Yeah, I'm going to go...
I'm rooting for one more death on him, though.
I'm going to go with Seb having most deaths by the end.
Seb?
But it could be any of the 3, to be honest.
I'll say Ari, then.
Okay, fair enough.
I mean, Seb has been tanking it a lot, though.
It's a pretty big one. I think 9 class was carrying the gem at the time, so it's a quite significant loss for them. BZM with that Ags. Tons of damage to put into the bat, even with BKB going off. He just got so many attacks off on the way out.
Damage rune again. Pure takes it for the second time. I think Tomato spotted it, though. So
yeah.
He knows that they picked it up on someone.
Satanic now for Tomato. And the Lincoln's on Whisper. Big items coming out. Don't underestimate Magnus scaling, of course. At some point, if Whisper decides to go a crit route, he currently with Empower hits for 500 a pop. So any critical strike would make this very nasty, but he is queuing up the BKB first. Don't know if that's the right approach, actually. Maybe he has to get it, but just the risk reward of having a big crit here, I think, is a quite interesting idea, because if you do find that good RP, you can just get the job done very quickly. Well, up for the
Roche is up. That means Roche offs will be a thing again.
Smoke on smoke. Puck's quite far.
Leading the way. Pops the smoke of several heroes. In fact, 4 on the side of OG. He's going to be spotted, though. Shockwave will connect. There's the skewer out, and that is the death of Batrider immediately. We'll buy back, though. Ari focusing now on the Thompson. He's going to use the Manta on the other side of the tree line, so he's fine, actually. As Pure trying to focus on the Marcy, but looks like he'll finally get into arm's length. We'll be able to take out the pesky Ari. There's the RP to come through, though. And now the damage being applied. Pure getting brought back with that skewer, but that's the death of Whisper as Pure is doing so much damage. Now it's a 3v1 against the Morphling. Tomato is dead. And just like that, it's a 3-for-1. Make it 4 as Seb is brought to his knees. And Tundra winning a huge fight, which should lead to Roche number 3.
I don't think they can let Topson be this unaccounted for in these fights. It really feels like the difference maker. Topson just gets to sit on the side, outputting ridiculous numbers. Sure, this instance, Sven is quite close to him, but just the state of every fight has been, they tried to get on Topson here with the Marcy, but there was no follow-up, right? They weren't able to combine something meaningful onto the Zeus, so he got to reset out. I think you have to either find the Zeus in the RP or the coil, and then Morphling needs to connect on that kill. Otherwise, Topson's just going to dictate the pace of the fight, and you just run out of resources. Like, Zeus's mana pool is very, very deep. He can cast all his spells multiple times. You don't have enough regen on your side. You are going to lose that battle eventually, and seeing it there, Tundra will try to turn this into something big, going for bottom racks as it looks, and don't think OG can do anything about this. This is at least one lane, maybe 2. Mid is open as well.
60 seconds of no Morphling, and obviously the Magnus is another hero that you have to really worry about, but it's still 30 seconds away.
Yeah, God Strength in 15. Oh, BZM.
BZM. Oh, he's spotted. Phase shift. And the question is, does Tundra want to go for more?
Oh,
it looks like
for a melee only, showing a lot of respect here. I don't think OG were likely to buy back with 15 seconds on their death timers. I definitely think you could have squeezed for more here, but perhaps that would compromise the Roche position, and this way you get a lane and a guaranteed Roche. So might actually turn out to be the best play. Roche not long for this world. Wonder if the Aegis goes on Pure or Thompson. Looks to be Pure.
Refresher Shard and Refresher share cooldowns, right?
Nope, they did put on Thompson.
How did they change that? I can't remember.
Yeah.
Right, well,
so they're putting the Shard in Sven's backpack, and Zeus now rocking the Aegis. So now the path that I just talked about for OG to access a good team fight, I feel like it's out of the window here. I think killing Zeus twice is borderline impossible with the cast around him here. It's going to be way too expensive. Try to go for that. So actually a very awkward spot now for OG. I don't really know how you access a good fight except skewering someone back to tier 4s and building that way. But what if Tundra just don't give you the option? What if they just play the map? Eventually maybe one of your heroes gets caught by lasso and things can go south quite quickly. Pure only one death away from the Pure award. Has to get there.
I think everyone's rooting for that. It's the most interesting thing right now, as Tundra with a pretty damn good lead at 11K, but this is high ground we're talking about, Cinderin.
Yeah, Magnus always spooky there.
Yeah, that's to say the least. There's Pure, gonna throw out a Stormhammer now. Well, blink away though. Has the overwhelming blink. Doesn't have that much more room to grow. Thunder God's Wrath will scout things out. Whisper takes the double Nimbus. Surprise, as Seb will get to the low ground, greeted by Thompson, who's now out of mana. Understandably so. Seb just being bounced around like a ping pong ball. Will eventually die, surely. And it'll be to right to Thompson, I should say.
No buybacks on either.
Yeah, so 2 dead. 5 versus 3. Tundra looking to finish this game number 1. Fortifications pop Pure, looking for that 10th death. Everyone's rooting for it. Will he dive the fountain? No creeps right now.
Yeah, the mid wave is semi.
He has a refresher shard, so
bottom is coming in.
Can pop the second ult now if he wants to go for the finish. Obviously doesn't know about the buyback situation. So this will be a second set guaranteed. They cannot go for the top one as BZM is going to be forced to use his BKB on the retreat. Pure uses his as well though. Of course with that refresher shard, not going to sweat it too much. Tier 2 still up top lane. And looks like they will not go for the throne. We'll be playing it safe here on Tundra's side.
Yeah, they didn't even have to expend their Aegis there. Just, this is what's so scary about this game state when you're against this farmed Zeus in this patch, is that, like, any glimpse of vision and any stun, this Magnus is pretty big, right? Like, he has a decent chunk of net worth. He has 4k health. He just vanished. No counterplay available. And as soon as he's down, the map is wide open for Tundra, and they just chase down bonus kills and a full set. Now 20k up. Zeus, still 2 minutes left in the Aegis. They could honestly just look for another forced fight here. I wouldn't put it past them to just look aggressively. Zeus trying to get some info. Seb bravely going here to de-ward on the team in his back, but if the enemy team was there, he would just have been toast. They did have a little bit of a retreat going on here. I wonder what the plan is for Tundra, if they're just going to chill and actually just let this Aegis run out. He is playing mid. No, they will use it. I like this. Don't let it go to waste. Straight back in the action.
We'll break the smoke. Back into the high ground though, and see the butterfly now on Tomato. Yeah. Gonna have to do something with it. As Toby, again, Seb just completely surrounded as Thompson and company. That is another insta-gib. This time it's on to Ari. So both supports dead for OG in this high ground defense. And now it's looking quite impossible. You do have the Magnus, though, with the coil, potentially. It's Mjolnir now onto the puck. Try to counteract this a bit, but with that primal split as well. Whisper, the cover of darkness for the time being. That's going to be mega creeps, and BZM destroyed right next to his tier 4 towers. Does have buyback It's a waveform already used. Pure's going to pop that Refresher Shard, get the double BKB, double God Strength as well. RP not going to be used there. Finally is onto the Zeus, but again, the Flame Break to cancel the Skewer. 9 class has been out playing everyone in this game.
Outclassing them.
That's true. That's another way to put it. As Tundra will take game number 1.
Pure.
And Pure, unfortunately, will not die a 10th time.
Pretty big mistake to use the Satanic.